Oh, you can be.
From the past 5 days, I had been working on an interesting story, and finally I completed it the previous day. So now it's time to narrate it before you so that we can see how actually interesting it is and why and what are the things which makes it really interesting. So this is a kind of story which not only breaks our superstitious belief but also teaches us a lesson in the humorous way. So let's learn something new with the help of this story. So let me tell the name of the story. It is called Confession. In Hindi it is Prayashchit. So this story is written by a very famous poet, although I don't remember the name, but his works, I have read many of his works. So that's why I am fond of his stories, and this one was also up to the mark. So let's start the story. So let me introduce the protagonist of the story so that it makes our things easy to understand. So the protagonists are Ramu's wife, a 13-year-old little girl who was newly married. Ramu's mother, the mother-in-law of that little girl. Mahari, the servant of that house, actually she was the maid, and some relatives of their house. So the story starts from the marriage of Ramu, where Ramu was married to a 13 years old girl, as it was ancient time. So at that time, child marriage was legal. So that's why Ramu got married to a 13 years old girl. Everything was going well. Her mother-in-law also loved her because she was a beautiful and cute girl. So that's why she handed him the keys of the house. She was declared the new owner of the house then and there. Many servants started working under her. So it was an authoritative job for her, and she was using her authority over those servants. Everything sounds good till now, but this is where something strange and means interesting happens. From this part of the story, a cat enters the scene, and the cat is called Kabri in this story. I don't know the real meaning of Kabri, that's why I can't tell it in English. For now, let's consider it to be a black cat. So from now, a black cat enters the scene. So it so happened that whenever Ramu's wife used to prepare anything delicious for Ramu, the cat used to consume it. Means she used to consume it as if they never existed in that house. She was so clever. The cat was so clever. This didn't happen only one time, but it kept happening for days, for several days. That's why Ramu's wife got really irritated, and she got herself very much angry due to this all. And finally, she was at the verge of killing that cat because she was so irritated that she could not tolerate that cat anymore. That's why she first of all thought of many ideas to captivate that cat so that it will not lead to anything strange, because the cat can be captivated easily and can be kept away from the house, can be transferred, driven away from the house. So they brought a cage from the market, and they opened the door of the cage and filled it with delicious dairy products. For example, there was pudding, kheer, rasmalai, rasgullas, so everything possible to lure that cat. But the opposite happened. The cat even didn't look that side. She was so strange that she realized that it was a trap, and she didn't give a give a hit to that thing. So Ramu's wife got really surprised to see that the cat was really clever. So something else should be tried there. Now she tried something else, but it also failed. Nothing could captivate that cat because she was very much clever. Finally, one day when Ramu's wife was busy in centrifugation of the milk, so she got tired and went to her bedroom to take a little sleep. Meanwhile, the bloody cat entered the house where the milk was being where the centrifugation of milk was being done. The cat entered there and finished all the milk instantly. Now it was a very drastic act for Ramu's wife. She could not tolerate it. When the cat was finishing the milk, she came there strangely. It is not mentioned in the story that how she got to know that the cat was there. But she appeared there from nowhere instantly. Seeing the cat was drinking the milk, she took a stick in her hand and hit the cat so hard that it fell unconscious on the floor. Now that was very much interesting. The whole incident of killing that cat was recorded in the eyes of the maid who was cleaning the floor of that house that time. So she cried in the whole house and traversed the veranda and reached the hall where the whole family was sitting. She kept crying and she was looking so desperate that the family got worried that what happened in the house and why was she crying. So she explained everything then and there. She revealed the truth that she saw the little girl killing a cat. Now it was a very drastic act. The news of the killing of a cat broke out in the whole village within seconds, and people started questioning Ramu's family that why did you kill a cat? How did it all happen? What was the reason? So many of their supporters appeared among the crowd. They appeared supporting them. That it was a fault. Sometimes it happens that we kill such animals accidentally, although we are not intended to kill them, but still it happens sometimes. So there was no need to worry. Then one questioned that how it was a normal act. Killing of a cat was a heinous crime and this should not be ignored. So they have exaggerated things so much that it seemed that yes, killing of a cat was really heinous and it should be considered as a very serious thing. Now the question arises in their mind, that then how? What was the solution? Was there any way out from the situation? So that time Mahdi appeared as blessing for the family. She suggested that was the high time to invite the sage. Now let me explain the sage. The sage was a recluse in that village. He was the sage of that village, and he was considered to be the greatest among the all in the village because he was a sage and he have ignored all the materialistic things in his life, and that's why he was valued in that village. So she suggested that it was a high time to call that sage. So the family sent one messenger to bring the sage. No sooner did the sage hear the news of the killing of a cat, he got interested in it. He replied in such a way as if he were waiting his whole life for that moment. He seemed happy that yes, now it was a golden opportunity for me to grab something from the foolish people.
Okay. Who was it?
The sage.
The sage.
Yeah.
Because he had already renounced the world. Correct.
Although the character of a sage is being explained in the most humorous way possible. He was waiting his whole life to hear the news of killing of a cat or someone so that he can usurp something from the family in name of confession. So he grew happy that yes, this was a nice chance for me to usurp things from the family. He asked his wife not to cook anything in the house that day, just because he was sure that the family is going to offer him delicious food that day, because he would be going there as a guest, not a normal man. So he asked her wife not to cook anything and left the place and reached Ramu's house instantly. Reaching there, finally, there appeared a grand debate. There happened a grand debate. The sage suggested them the possible outcomes and the solutions of those as well. He explained that if he could get the exact time and exact day when the cat was killed, he could even tell them that which kind of hell they are going to. So Mahdi, one of the members of the family, explained him that it happened in the VRs that day. So he calculated something on his finger and impersonated as if it was a very complex calculation, turned the pages of his books, and finally, with a very serious expression on his face, he replied that it was the most heinous act possible in this world. Killing of a cat in VRs. Had it been not done in VRs, it was something else. But if it is done in VRs, then this is more than killing of a human being. So they must consider it as a serious thing. Now the family got even more surprised and even more worried. They became desperate. They started thinking desperately that what would happen now and how to come over it. So the sage said that for that day his existence is meant for. That's why he is called a sage. If he can't tell the solution of these trivial problems, then why he is a sage? There was a purpose of him being appearing there as a sage. So he explained them that there was one way out, and it was the grand confession of 21 days. This, from here, the title of the story is derived, Confession of 21
Very
days.
good, very good.
Yes. So now he mentioned that they must perform a ritual of particularly 21 days to rid away this sin from their life. Although, let me explain one more thing, that before the sage arrived there, the condition in the house was very much strained. The maid in that house declared that she won't cook anything until the house get purified with the help of the sage. So how foolish people were they, I can't explain. I will be explaining this in the end of the story. For now,
And this is the whole business of all the sages.
yeah, this is
The superficial sages, sadhus, mahatmas. And this is the whole business they are doing.
yes. We would be talking about this in the last of the story. For now, let's enjoy it. So the sage explained them each and everything in the easiest way possible, and the family was also interested in it. But when they asked the requirements of the ritual, they got shocked. Their eyes were wide open and they could not speak a single word, because the sage demanded for 21 days continuous feeding of 10 sages daily. This was too much for them. Although they were well off family, but still this was too much for them, because this is not the all thing. Something more was there, and it was a kg of rice, 5 kg of ghee, 10 kg of wheat, barley. Means the demands were like as if they were to organize a grand feast and they were inviting hundreds of people to eat. But how foolish kind of act is this? So it was means too much. The family tried to estimate the total expenditure, and they got to know that it would cost approx 150 rupees. So at that time, the value of 150 rupees was like 15,000 rupees now. So this was a very big problem, a paradox for the family, whether to accept it or to find some other way possible. But the sage clearly explained them that there was no way other than that way. They had to accept that, and that was only one way before them. So the family desperately accepted the demand. They were not willing, but their eyes were so brutally veiled by the misconception in this world that they had to agree. They had to fulfill the demand.
Correct.
Yes. So now means when the sage got angry, as the family was taking too long to decide, so many people tried to stop him, that the family was already suffering. So he must not leave them in that way. So they requested him to stay there. Even the family requested him to stay there, and they also agreed that they would be giving each and everything for the confession. But the sage mentioned one more thing here, and this is the most funniest thing. This is the funniest thing in the story. He said that there was no need to feed 10 sages daily for 21 days. Instead, they could feed the sage twice a day, as his one-time meal was capable of feeding 5 sages at once. So how clever the sage was. He mentioned this so that nothing could go in vain. He tried to absorb each and everything from the family. The family also agreed that yes, it was a good thing and they will be giving him each and everything. Now, one more demand was kept before the family, that they should have to donate an idol of the cat made up of pure gold. Now, this was also too much for the family. Already they were suffering, listening the demands of those grains. Now, this was another demand. And how would they fulfill it if they won't have resources in their house? But still, they agreed. Just because I explained the misconception, the superstitious beliefs of people. Now, the main question arises there, that what should be the weight of the idol be donated? So the sage said that in scriptures it was mentioned that the idol donated of gold must be as much heavy as the weight of the cat. Means if the cat was 5 kg, then the idol must be of 5 kg. But since the world had changed now, so they needed not donate that much. They could just give 210 grams of gold for that. But still it was too much. The grand debate again took place and the bargaining began. after prolonged negotiations, the family finally concluded that 110 grams would be enough for that. The sage politely asked the family to hand him the gold so that he could take it to the market, take it to a goldsmith, and can get a cat made up of gold prepared from there. But no sooner did the sage stood up to ask the family for the gold than than the maid of the house came there crying that the cat ran away. So this was the shocking part of the story, because for means this much thing which was happening just because of that dead cat, it fled away from there. Means the cat was still alive and there was no need to donate, there was no need to give a single penny to the sage. So the writer slaps on our cheeks in the end that you need not do this all stuff for in the name of religion and superstitious beliefs. You just need to think, you just need to know the truth, and the truth is going to help you in each and every field of your life. So as I told that we would be talking about the foolishness of people nowadays in the end, so it is the time to talk about their foolishness. So I would explain this taking examples from the story. Although the family was well off, but still they were demanded a huge amount which even well-off family can't fulfill. But still they agreed. Why? If I don't will to give something to someone, then why would I agree then? So there was only one mechanism working behind, and it was superstitious beliefs.
And one more thing, fear. All viewers, I hope that you liked Priyanshu's narrative too much, and if you liked it, please do like it and share it with your other friends. And this is how we are teaching our students in the best possible way how to narrate, how to compose. And this was a Hindi story from Standard 8 book, and you might have enjoyed it, I hope so. And you might have also enjoyed the beauty of his composition and the technique he used while narrating all the story.